So I just wanted to talk to you about my version of reality as I have developed this over the last 4 years, having realized that my previous version of reality was somewhat flawed. I had a very typical westernized left brain version of the world. I had my initial moment when I went for my first ever reading with a medium, and it truly opened my mind because it kind of left me nowhere to go other than to realize that the afterlife really did exist. And so this really got me thinking about, well, what is this all about? I then researched this quite vigorously over these last 4 years, and I've discovered an awful lot. My version of reality now gives me a great deal of happiness and satisfaction and peace and fulfillment and all that sort of good stuff. And I know that the planet is going on a journey right now. I know it's going on a journey from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. I also know that there's a lot of damage being done to the planet. 2022, this is when it truly begins. 2023, 2024, big years of reckoning. This is John Drew on behalf of the Twiglet Zone. Fantastical stories accompanied by a savory snack. So yeah, there's this habit of vilifying other nations and putting ourselves on a pedestal and saying, okay, well, we're British, so we're better. We're American because we're better. We're German, so we're better. You know, this is all nonsense. This is we have to realize we are all equally worthy, that we're all miraculous beings living this existence. And the house of cards that is going to come tumbling down are those people who've elevated themselves and create that control through peddling fear. Those people are misusing their energy. Nobody gets away with anything in life, and that's a fact. It doesn't matter whether they're ever brought to justice or not within this lifetime. The fact is, nobody gets away with anything, because when we die, we go back over to where we came from. We go back home. We become non-physical energy. We leave this physical shell behind, but we go back to where we were before. And my mom's there, my father-in-law's there, my uncles and aunties and who passed away before me, you know, they're there, they're waiting. But not only that, but you then do your life review. Sit there with the council and you go through your life review. What did you do well? What did you not do well? You are your own judge and jury. There's nobody beating you up about this. There's no hell that you're going to be cast into because you've done bad things. You will be your own judge and jury. But from that, you have to decide, when you come back into the physical again, you have to work out, what is your life going to look like? Who are you going to have around you? Who are your soul family? What roles are you going to play this time? Well, last time I was the husband. Next time I'm going to be the wife. I'm going to be the daughter. I'm going to be the son. You know, or, you know, where you've been violent towards somebody, then when you come back, they will be violent towards you because you have to feel what it was that you put them through. So this is why we should be very slow to judge circumstances when we see them around us, because for a start, we never truly die. You know, when people die, they go to what is effectively a better place, because planet Earth is a difficult place to be. And as I understand it, it is one of the most challenging places, if not the most challenging place in the universe, to incarnate and live through these dense energies, the emotions. You're trapped in a physical body with a low vibration, which means, you know, we can't do the things that you can do when you're over the other side in a light body, right? Which is kind of like the ability to do anything, to manifest anything whenever you like. And we have a lot of these abilities ourselves. We do have psychic powers. We do have manifesting abilities. But because we're coming at it from the dense energies, then we've lost so much of this. And, you know, we can go back over the thousands and thousands of years to the Atlantean era, and before that as well. You know, okay, once we got from Neanderthal and the missing link, and then we were created as a combination of the Neanderthal type of human, but improved massively by the interaction with genetics of our extraterrestrial cousins to give us what we have now. We are still a dense life form in terms of, you know, we're physical energy. There is a limit to how much we can achieve within this physical form, because, you know, we have gravity, we have this meat suit, and, you know, if you imagined, if you had as much consciousness and awareness as you do now, but you didn't have the physical body, and you could fly places, you could just think yourself to places. Right, I want to be back in Hawaii. Right, ping, I'm there. I want to be on the beach. Ah, I'm on the beach. You name it, you can do it when you're non-physical. And this is the thing that we have to kind of take into, it's a difficult concept to bridge from the normal 3D world in which most people reside. And I know a lot of people will look at this and say, well, this is just deluded nonsense. He's gone crazy. Okay, you know, all we do, plant seeds. We plant seeds from this point of view, knowing that a lot of people are going to just look at this and think this is just crazy nonsense. Because again, you come around to our extraterrestrial cousins, they've been here since the dawn of creation. They were here creating the planet, different energy forms. You know, it started off as a molten mass. The moon gets created from some of it because it gets drawn in by some gravitational pull of a passing comet, pulls out a chunk of the molten earth, and there's the moon. And then you have energy forms who come down here to cool down the planet. And this probably takes millions of years. They cool it down. Then they have other beings who come here and create water on the earth. You've got other ones who are taking the sulfur poisonous gases that surround the surface and turning it into an oxygenated kind of environment where life can form. Then you bring in the life forms. The life forms come in very basic, experiment with them, what can survive, what cannot survive, how can we build this out? You know, the planet was like started off as a molten mass, then it ultimately became a complete ocean for a while, and then the land starts to rise out of the ocean. You start off with sea creatures, then you start off with vegetation and trees, and then it kind of evolves from there. But this idea of Darwinian theory is right in part because yes, there is a natural evolutionary process, but it didn't just come from a single cell. There were different life forms brought in from other planetary systems, grown on spaceships as well, and nurtured on spaceships so that it could be brought down to experiment. Not everything works. The world has been different. There's been different versions of human beings down here and experimented with to see who can survive and which one's able to adapt to the environment. So there's all sorts of crazy stuff that's gone on. But the extraterrestrials have been around us all the time. They reside within a higher dimension. Therefore, they are not visible to the naked eye. Our range of senses in this human body are exceptionally narrow compared to the totality. So we see within this environment, the rest of it outside of that, we do not see. The hearing, same thing. Now you blow on a dog whistle, you don't hear the dog whistle. That's because we have a narrow range of hearing. The whole range of hearing is way out there. And every sense that you know we have is exactly the same. So when you stop and think about it, an entire world can exist outside of the five senses as we perceive them. And indeed it does. A complete world of hidden dimensions, of hidden life forms all around us. Even on the planet around us now, nature beings helping to try and restore the balance of nature so that we can live a good life. There are so many things. And I know this all sounds crazy, but I'm here just to plant the seed. Myself, Joe Lay, Chris and Suzanne from 365 Pin Code, and then the mediums, Susan Grau over in California, who kind of helps people to bridge the gap to those who passed over to the other side. And there are millions more like her around the planet, all here helping us to understand our place on the planet, our role here on the planet, and also once we've elevated ourselves, we can once again re-establish our links to our extraterrestrial cousins. And it's not just the extraterrestrial cousins, because there are actually other life forms within the Earth who can also join us then as well. They just don't want to be sucked into the density of the planet as we have it right now. A lot of this is what I've said before, and I say it again because all the time I'm getting a clearer picture of understanding by working with the genius people out there like Jolie Gabrielle, and with Chris and Suzanne Stiles, and with a multitude of others who are contributing towards unraveling this state of unconsciousness that we've been in for so long, so we can wake up from our mortal slumber to realize who we truly are. We are miracles, each one of us, and we can do miracles as we would perceive them. And the only reason we perceive them as miracles is because we have dumbed ourselves down through the programming and control that's out there, through the distorted version of the truth. Once we remove that, we'll realize we are all capable of miracles. So I'm excited about the future. I know all this stuff sounds weird to most people. Some people get it. And I think as time goes by now, we're going to start to see this snowballing effect building and building and building as more people realize this to be the truth. Or this is my version of the truth. I completely respect everybody's right to say this is deluded nonsense, because everybody's on their own journey. I have a complete respect for that. That was me 4 years ago. But these are exciting times ahead of us. People will not see them as exciting because a lot of people will suffer through this. But suffering is a growth opportunity. So all you need to know is that you are immortal spirits having a human experience. You never die. Even when you lose this physical form and go over to the other side, that is a beautiful place to be. And when you're over there, you might question, why would you ever want to come down into this density, into this low vibrational, low frequency energy that's down here? It's because we learn and we grow and we experience emotions that you cannot experience over there. That's why we keep subjecting ourselves to it. And we've all been different life forms. But this one is one of the most special. We're honored to be here in this physical form right now, because we are here at a time of massive transition that's never been seen on the universe before. This has never been attempted anywhere else, to shift a planet from the third dimension to the fifth dimension in the way that this is happening now. But it means there is a lot of things that are going to come to the surface over these next few years, because this thing is accelerating. And it'll carry on for decades yet. This is not all going to happen overnight, but these next 3 years, including this year, are going to be life-changing for pretty much everybody. So that's it for now. This is John Drew for Elevated Planet on behalf of the Twiglet Zone. Fantastical stories accompanied by a savory snack.